The first three, well, really two episodes of your webtoon are huge. Not because of the cute little subscribe here prompt that Webtoon gives you on the third episode, but to be honest, getting these three right will set your comic off for success. Hello, and welcome to this side of YouTube. My name is Nikki, and today I'm going to tell you how and why your webtoon is boring. So before I start, I just want you to know that this can be applied to the beginning of any comic in general, and not just on the first three episodes, just, the beginning. And also, take my words with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, you can do whatever the heck you want with your story, and I could care less. Alrighty, let's go. Let's start. So I have three items on my list today for you all, and number one is being vague. To be honest, I don't really see a lot of webtoon YouTubers talking about this, but I do see a lot of people in comment sections on Instagram, Webtoon, or whatever, saying that the best way to catch an audience in the first episode is to be mysterious. And to that I say, no? What are you talking about? No? So let me give it to you straight and simple. When you start writing, no one cares about your characters, your stories, your plot, whatever. So when I'm barely invested in whatever the heck you have going on in your story, and you suddenly are being real vague with key details of the story, automatic turn off. I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm sorry, but the whole lost in time, unspoken mysteries, blah 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 blah, amnesia, ooh ah, they're lost somewhere, ooh ah, oh, foreshadowing that doesn't wind up going anywhere. I'm sorry to say it, but your intro, you really think you're giving mysterious intrigue, compelling narrative, but I'm sorry, it's really giving, I don't know very much about what's going on in my story, and it's also giving nothing interesting happens in my story, so I'm going to allude to things that don't even happen in my story. That's the matter of the fact. That's just how it seems to your audience. Now, the whole mystery thing can be done well, and there is a place for it, but that's a whole other topic for another video. AKA, I probably won't have enough time to talk about it in this video, so I'm just gonna push it off into another one. But my main point / solution here is that don't just make things vague for the sake of being mysterious. It's not gonna work out well for you, I'm gonna be honest. If it has no other purpose, check it out. It's boring, predictable, and it makes it seem like you have no direction planned for the story. Alright, and that's it. Let's move on. So number two on the list of mistakes here is exposition. And now on the other side of the coin, you tell me way too much within the first three episodes of your story. Listen to me. Every single one of you, I need you to listen. Unless it's necessary, absolutely necessary, I do not want you giving any sort of tangential background information that does not matter. I don't need to know about the whole story of the kingdom or the type of breakfast the MC likes to have. And I also don't want to know that long, long ago XYZ and ABC happened, but it's not a plot detail that I need to know until 35 chapters into the story. You're wasting my time here. Come on, let's hurry it up. So there is a time and a place for lore. I tell you, that's how your whole story gets going. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, hey, you don't need to tell readers anything about your story in episode 1 or ever. There is a place for lore. But if you are just dumping lore right smack dab in the front of the comic, I assure you a shocking amount of people will either skip it, glaze over it, or just straight up drop your comic. And then you'll wonder why, when 30 episodes in, your readers are saying, hey, this story makes no sense. It's because they skipped that lore part in the beginning, which they thought wouldn't be necessary, because it usually isn't. So as I said, there is a time and a place. And if you're thinking, hey, Nikki, I'm gonna need a bit of exposition when I launch my comic, then I want you to write 3 reasons, 3 very good reasons why it's necessary to tell the readers all of that at that exact moment. If you do not have good reasons, or if you just can't get 3, I highly, highly advise you that there is a better way to present the information that you want to present. Get creative. It's kind of your job as a comic creator. And a little side note for your exposition of your comics in general. No one wants to read a wall of text. I am telling you, no one wants to read a wall of text. I don't, you don't, and your readers certainly will not. I can guarantee. So if you have a bunch of exposition at the get-go of your comic with just walls and walls of text, it's time to reconsider. Yesterday, get on that. I am telling you right now, no matter how great it is, it's probably not going to get read by many people. Like a handful. I'm going to be honest here. Because honestly, speaking from experience, if I have like a word wall of expositions right off the bat, 8 times out of 10, I'm leaving. I'm gone. I'm out of there. You know, red flags everywhere. So if you're using exposition in the first 3 episodes, please tread carefully. It can be done, and sometimes it is necessary, but please, I beg of you. So, in conclusion, readers don't care. They'll skip it either way, so try to find a fun and fresh way to get them the information you need to get to them. Like, you want to hook your readers, not drown them in unnecessary information. Alright, so number 3, the last item on the list. Nothing happens. Or at least the first 2 or 3 episodes make it seem like nothing will happen in the series. I think slice of life, like long form narrative comics, suffer from this a lot. So this is kind of targeted, but like, you know, it applies to other genres too, you know, I guess it can work. So if I read the first 2 or 3 episodes of your comic and I don't see any hint of conflict, something that needs to change, or anything intriguing about the past of the character, the setting, or anything else like that, red flag. I'm gonna tell it to you real, red flags everywhere. For example, if your comic has the day in the life of like your main character or something, and then the 3rd episode ends with them going to bed happily, waiting to do it all over again, as a reader, why would I come back to read more of your comic when I could just reread the first 3 episodes? Because all you're telling me right now is that your MC is really just gonna do the exact same thing again. It's like having a romance comic and the main leads always had crushes on each other, and nothing happens. Nothing happens to change that. Why would I read more of your comic when I could just read 1 episode of pining over and over again? And also, bold of you to assume I'd read pining with no payoff. Once again, I am leaving the comic. I am out. So, in big girl words, this means that you are lacking an inciting incident. You know, the thing that makes the whole story happen. There's this writing method, I think it's Pixar's, where they structure their stories as once upon a time XYZ happens, and every day blah 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 until blah 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 blah. And then after that until moment is when your story actually starts. So if your first 3 episodes, or the beginning of your comic in general, doesn't have that key until moment where something changes or sparks a change, you're effectively saying to your readers that, yeah, you know, those first 3 episodes, that's what the main characters are doing forever. No need for you to continue. You've already seen what their life will amount to. That's what you're saying without an inciting incident. And this incident doesn't really need to be something super big. It can just be them bumping into someone, watching a really good movie, slaying the Demon King. I don't know. Give me something. Give me anything. I'll take what I can get. So I know a lot of you probably have watched other comic videos, but I need to reiterate. Those first 3 episodes are your first impressions to the reader. When you meet someone that you want to impress, you don't tell them the most mundane and boring thing you've ever said in your life. No, you're saying something intriguing, and you want them to keep listening to you. Readers are not obligated to click on your next episode. It's you who needs to make them like unconsciously click the next episode, like it's second nature, because they'll just want to know what happens that bad. It's like that. But that excitement is not going to come if nothing happens in your first 3 episodes. I'm just gonna tell it to you straight. It's not gonna come. And I know that most people who fall for this kind of pitfall is young writers, especially those who don't have any sort of outline or direction for their stories. So be careful, my friends. You don't have to do like a detailed script or a detailed outline, just at least know where you're going. At least know what's gonna happen in your story. That's the bare minimum. Honestly, this is really a doozy of a topic that really deserves its own video. Inciting incidents are, well, a lot. They're a lot to handle. But my quick words to you are to look at your first 3 episodes or your beginning of your comic in general and find that key until moment. If you can, then bestie, I hate to tell you this, but you're gonna need to make one. You're gonna need to find a way. Alrighty, so those are my 3 quick tips on making your first 3 episodes flourish. They seem simple in concept, but executing them is not simple, to be honest. It's quite hard. It's difficult. I'm not sure if I've really communicated all my points that well, but I'm planning on making separate videos for all these topics either way, so I can elaborate on whatever I say. And anyways, go read my comic, y'all. Yeah, see y'all later. Ciao.